welcome to Couch Convo with Coach Karla. I'm Karla Lewis, your host, or Coach Karla. Welcome. So glad to see all of you. Thank you for joining us. And tonight we have a special guest. On our show, we talk about mental health issues, but we also have entrepreneurs on and give them a chance to share what they're working on. And this month, the month of October, actually happens to be National Book Month. And so we've had a lot of authors on this month, and it's been a really good experience. But the young lady who is with us now has a plethora of books, and I'm going to give the official introduction so that you all can know. Miss Tammy has over 170 books that she's written since September 2015. She began writing at the age of 11. And she says that she didn't know anything about publishing until her mid-30s. In 2019, after struggling to get her books into bookstores, Tammy took the plunge and opened her own bookstore in the Parkway Village area of the city. She uses her bookstore to help aspiring authors see what their books can be. I was in one of her classes, and yes, Tammy knows how to take your book and turn it into multiple products. So if you're an author out there, Tammy is excellent at that. She hosts her own events, and she also hosts other authors' events. She is best known for her book, Girl, Go Eat a Cookie and Then Handle Business. I'm trying to make sure people can see it. Yeah. Girl, Go Eat a Cookie and Then Handle Business. People can see it a little bit better. There you go, yeah. So, and Tammy uses the power of the written word to help her readers take accountability for their roles in their setbacks and knockdowns. And I actually had a little bit of time to start the book, and I'm really excited about it. And it's touching on, as she said, accountability. Let's get into it. Let's get into it.
All right.
So I actually, as we were talking before the show, I've attended a couple of Tammy's classes. And when you leave her class, you're like, oh, you know.
You need a cookie afterwards.
You may need a cookie during the class. Yes. Which actually the class that I was in, some cookies were provided. We had cookies, which was really, really nice.
Yes.
But anyway, at the prologue for her book, or the dedication for her book, the prologue, Tammy says, this book is for every woman who has looked at life and wondered if she even wanted to deal with it. Now, that was a mouthful. That was a mouthful, because women often have a lot of responsibilities, a lot of roles. You know, if we're mothers, if we're an aunt, whatever roles we take on in our families, and then we have our careers, and then we have the things that we do outside of our career. And most of us are involved. We're in the South, the gospel belt,
the Bible belt.
Yes. And so most of us have church and sororities and other associations that we're involved in. And so we can be busy. But I think this book gives us accountability in terms of helping us to find, strike some sort of balance. You know, that's what I got from it.
Yes.
Yeah. So why don't you tell people a little let me start. What made this book come about? Girl, Go Eat a Cookie and Then Handle Business.
Well, this book, as I tell my readers and my audience often, this is one book that I don't describe in happy, fluffy terms.
Yeah.
I spent most of 2020 under multiple sclerosis protocol. Mm-hmm. And at the time that this book came about, I was actually watching the preachers conference being held at my church.
Okay.
So you talked about church.
Yeah.
And I was there watching live from home, and one of the pastors preached a message about, it's not about getting knocked down, it's about getting back up. Mm-hmm. And so as he was sharing, taking from the life of the Apostle Paul, mm-hmm, And I was sitting there and I was just, I'm just crying buckets because I'm like, everything, that I had gone through. I had 4 CT scans, 2 MRIs, 27 blood tests, had 2 heart attacks, was hospitalized twice, nosebleeds, lost the use of my hands, couldn't walk, and just all of this. And here I was listening to this message, and I remember texting my husband and saying, babe, God allowed me to get up.
Yeah.
And I remember I had teal colored sticky notes. See, that's just how the spirit works. I had teal colored sticky notes by my bed, and I wrote down the main points and the scripture references, and I taped those sticky notes to my wall because I didn't want them to fall.
Yeah.
And so as the conference went on, I told my husband, I said, babe, he said, huh? I said, I think I know what I'm supposed to do with this. He goes, I said, you know what I mean, right? He's like, yeah.
What does that mean for him? What does it mean for him?
He knew that I was about to flip the sermon that I had just heard. He knew that there was another book coming. So I began to write the book after the conference, and I got the book and the workbook done in about 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
In about 2 weeks. And it was something, it was very, very mentally and emotionally taxing because when you talk about things like giving people too much grace or not understanding the grace that God gave you and then not giving yourself grace and how we often get lazy and how when we learn things, as my pastor would say, we get all we can and can all we get instead of channeling and then putting that out there and understanding that we sometimes lose things because of ungratefulness and then learning to celebrate ourselves.
Yeah.
So the whole process through writing this book, it wasn't one of those, I've got time to write. I've got my alone time. This was Lord Jesus. Okay.
Yeah.
Woo. I mean, I still cannot share the message of this book after 2 years without crying.
I can believe that especially because of, you're talking about the illness that you went through. Yes. And I think that was one of the things that grabbed us in the class too. And I had my own similar health struggle. It wasn't the same, right. but my audience has heard about that before. But to know that you went through that and that you still encourage other people to get back up. Yes. And people can get depressed. I know we talked about that in class, and it talks about it in the book. You can get depressed after you've gone through something, and it's just very impressive, Tammy. It's impressive for you to write a book after going through all of that. Not only a book, but a workbook. Because the workbook is something. It's something else within itself.
Yes.
And I would even say that people, and I might be wrong, but I would even say that people could do the workbook without the book.
They can. I actually said that when I put the book out, that this would probably be the first book that if you argued with me about not buying both of them, I would agree with you. Yeah. Because the workbook by itself, and I have had people to buy the workbook instead because they think that the workbook is easier to deal with. No, it's not.
No, if you're looking for easy, the workbook ain't it.
The workbook, no.
And neither one of them is easy. This is dealing with us and our stuff. You know,
Yes.
that's what to me now. It's dealing with us and our stuff. When I say us, I'm talking about Christians, Christian women.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I have a running joke with one of my readers. She refers to me and this book as sandpaper.
Oh, okay.
She was just like, it puts the mirror this close to your face.
It does.
Like, you have no choice.
Yeah.
But to look at it, and it's written that way because it's easy for us to say what it, he, she, them, and they did.
Mm-hmm.
But this book challenges you to say, okay, what did I do?
Mm-hmm.
What have I continued to allow
Yeah.
that has me at this point?
Yeah. And I like the fact, and see, a lot of times we'll read a book, and the book will be just about grace.
Right.
But this book is dealing with both. It's dealing with how we leave things undone sometimes, but then it also deals with sometimes we need to go somewhere and sit down.
Yes.
Sometimes we need to go somewhere and sat
down. And
Yeah.
I do mention that in the book. It's one of the 3 graces that I say we don't give ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
That's the grace to rest,
Mm-hmm.
to not be okay, and to not have all the answers.
Yes. And let me wave my flag right now, because people think that therapists have all the answers. I do not have all the answers. I'm the first. If you never met a therapist that says, I don't know, now I know some things now. I went to school, right? And then my
Yes.
mama and daddy taught me some stuff too, right?
Right.
And I pay attention to what's going on in the world, and I read and all that good. But I don't have all the answers. So I'm going to tell you if I don't know.
Right. It's better to say I don't know than to put somebody in an unnecessary situation.
Yeah.
So this book is a journey. It really is, because it pulls your mess out of you. Just everything that you thought that you could get away with. This one is not going to let you get away with anything.
Yeah.
And even with some of the workbook activities, it's making you sit down and say, okay,
Yeah.
I have got to get some stuff together. I have things to work on. I have people, places, things, and ideas that I need to finally let go of, and some stuff that I need to make peace with.
Yeah. And I think, one of the things that people don't understand is that we're all works in progress.
Yes.
I think maybe society teaches us this, to see certain people. It's okay to use people for an example, I guess, but we tend to we take it too far, and we put
them
people on a pedestal.
Yeah.
And we look for them to be perfect, and there is no perfection.
They're still a person.
Yeah.
They're still human.
And I tell people there isn't perfection even in robots and computers. Computers still mess up. So I don't know where we got that from, that we need to be perfect. And then they put one of the humanoid robots on the White Castle line and the Amazon thing, and they still conked out. So now if the robots and machines conk out, then what you think gonna happen to you?
The very same thing.
Yeah.
Computers go down. Computers need maintenance. Computers get viruses. And the same happens to us. And then the thing of it is, perfect is something that we will never get to.
That's right. That's right.
So it doesn't matter how together we have it. it's never going to be perfect.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And when you are able to put down perfect, that's when you will start to see things differently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's where grace comes in, right?
Exactly. You have to give yourself that grace, because everything that you do isn't going to be for everybody.
Ooh, wee. Say that one more time now.
Everything you do
Yes.
is not going to be from everybody.
It's not going to be for everybody.
And-
Absolutely.
And then also, just thinking about something else that I have in another one of my books. We've got to give ourselves the grace to not quit because we see somebody else doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I tell people all the time, just because somebody does what you do
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean that they do what you do. They don't have your drive, your
Mm-hmm.
skill, your talents, your gifts, knacks, affinities, your zone of genius, nor your level of Jesus.
Or your personality. Use all of the
Right.
things that you said lent towards personality, but I just want to put that out there.
Right. They don't have it. That's why if you go down any main street in America, you gonna find McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King, Five Guys, a little mom and pop joint.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody cares that the other one is there.
Right.
They're known for what they are known for, and they are going to do what they are known for, whether you there or not.
That's right. That's absolutely
It doesn't
right.
matter.
Yeah.
So that's why, and I believe this is the 3rd chapter of the book, where I say your growth and what you glean and what you learn in life is not about you.
Mm.
It's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Yes, you might have grown from it. Yes, you might have overcome it, but you have to understand that the true testimony in you overcoming may not be given by you.
Mm.
It could be given by somebody who has watched you.
Mm. Okay, now I like it. Well, the other thing that I want to say, and this is a compliment, now I'm an author as well. My book is called Learning to Love Me. But what I want to say is that now Tammy lives in Tennessee. A lot of times what I see people do is they minimize the impact of Memphis authors or Southern authors, someone who lives down the street from them. But let me tell you something. Tammy's work is up there with T.D. Jakes and all of those people, okay? So as I've listened to a lot of classes, I've gone to a lot of conferences all over the world, and this is some good stuff. Don't think it's not good and excellent just because it's available in Memphis, Tennessee.
Right.
You know, this is, I mean, I would want every Christian woman to read Girl, Go Eat a Cookie and Then Handle Business. I would like to see every Christian woman read it. And if we did, I mean, we could just see transformation
Yes.
all across the city.
Yes.
Transformation all across the city. And it's, look at it. It won't take you any time to read it. Look at that.
No.
Now,
It won't. And that's what I was telling someone, another author. They were like, you know, how can you have and do so much in a book that's so short? Because it's what, 80, 90, 90? How many pages is this book? I can't even remember.
It says,
So it's about 60 pages. About 60 pages or so.
yeah.
But I'm like my dad. My dad, Baptist minister. If he couldn't say what thus said God in 15 minutes, he just didn't say it.
Ah.
So I learned growing up that your book doesn't have to be
Long.
200-300 pages
Yeah.
to do the job. So
Yeah.
it is a quick read, but it's not an easy read. I have had people burn this book. I have been cursed out.
Are you serious?
I have been cursed out. I've had people burn the book. I've been reported to the Better Business Bureau.
Wait a minute now. It dealt with me. It dealt with me in my spirit, so I'm going to call and report her to the Better Business Bureau. Ain't that something?
I have had friends in the ministry stop talking to me.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Even the person who edited the book for me, she's known me since I was 12 years old. She didn't talk to me for 6 months.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It is.
Oh, that's some serious business.
It gets in your business.
Okay.
It gets around those feelings and irks those eternal nerves.
Okay.
I'm just being honest.
And you know, that is if you will sit down and work with a book like this, it shows whether you're serious or not, you know, about personal development,
yes.
You know, and character. That's oh. Now, as you were talking, I was thinking, would I describe it as soup or would I describe it as steak? This is definitely steak.
Yeah.
It's just think about it like that, because soup can have volume, but this got meat. So I want you to get it and get it plain. Like, I don't want you to think you're finna pick this up and everything finna be howdy doody and all right, because it's gonna deal with you.
It's
Girl.
also not a cookbook. Anytime I go to the post office and I'm shipping a book out, they're like, "Is this a cookbook?"
Mm-mm.
No.
Girl, go eat a cookie.
Yes.
And then handle business.
Yes.
Okay. So now the class. Tell people about how they can take the class that accompanies the book.
Okay, so my Girl Go Eat a Cookie workshops are usually either done on demand. I can come to your conference, your church. I've even been called to a family reunion. That was fun.
Ooh, I like it.
Mom and them made sure I had a plate, so I was good.
It was good.
I do this one-on-one, and that can get very interesting very quickly.
I bet.
Usually around the month of December, I do my Girl Go Eat a Cookie, the experience event.
Mm-hmm.
This one is not this year's book, House and Never, comma. I am always prepared because somebody is going to want to hear about the original book, and I always ask them, how much time do you have?
Okay. Yeah.
Because to talk about it in its totality, I need a day.
That makes sense.
I need a day because you've got to get over a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then some of the activities that I like to do as well help to ease the tension, because Karla, you went through balloon therapy, which is one of my favorite exercises to do with this book, because it deals with getting the fear and the angst out of the way, so that you can be open to the rest of the stuff that's in
The rest of the steps.
The rest of the steps, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So now you all know when she does these classes, and then you can go ahead and let people know how they can contact you or follow you on social media.
So you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. On Facebook and Instagram, it's Girl Go Eat a Cookie. It's Girl Go Eat a Cookie on Twitter as well. So I'm always around. Karla will tell you I'm very approachable. I will talk to anybody about this one. I'm probably going to argue with you first and ask you if this is really what you want to do.
Okay.
Because I know what's in it.
Okay.
And I know what it can do.
Yeah. And I'm actually just reading a few pages at a time. Remember I said it's steak. And so I don't want to send myself into shock. I attended the class. The class was good breaking ground, and now I'm reading a few pages of the book at a time. And for one, I'm always doing personal development,
Right.
you know, as a therapist. So I just want to make sure I don't do too much damage to myself. So I have enjoyed this segment of talking to Tammy Polk. I call her the author extraordinaire. We are going to go to commercial break, and then we're going to come back. Thank you so much for joining us. Come back after the break.
Ladies, do you feel feminine during your feminine flow? You know, your monthly cycle, your period? Are you still suffering in silence? The suffering is over. It's time to choose Rain. Rain is an all-natural, premium sanitary napkin with 8 layers of cotton, high-grade polymers, graphene to help cut bacteria by 99.9%. Ladies, let's protect the most precious jewel in the world, you.
Rain Premium Sanitary Napkins do not make any medically backed claims or personal recommendations of any kind. For more information, contact Marilyn McGee.
You're talking about a good time shield. When we all come on now.
Center Stage Gospel Music live from Memphis, Tennessee, featuring gospel artists from around the world. Toe tapping, hand clapping, down and home gospel music. Watch on Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, and your local Comcast. Download the SVP TV app now on your smart television and mobile device. Center Stage Gospel season premieres Sunday, 8 p.m. Central.
Welcome back, and we are here with author extraordinaire Tammy T. Polk. She has written over 170 books, and in fact has her own bookstore right here in Memphis, Tennessee. And one of her signature books is Girl, Go Eat a Cookie and Then Handle Business. Girl, Go Eat a Cookie and Then Handle Business. So if you missed the first half, make sure you go back and check that out on SVP TV Network, the Facebook page, or SVP TV on YouTube, as well as on Comcast Channel 17. All right, so we're going to get into some of the other aspects. What inspired you to be a writer?
I was inspired by my 6th grade teacher.
Okay.
I was a nerd. I'm still a nerd, proud to be a nerd. And I was sitting in class one day. I had finished my work, and my teacher was applying to be Teacher of the Year. And you know how you're writing something sometimes, and the word, it's there, but it just won't come to the paper.
Right.
And I'm sitting there listening to her struggle at 11 years old, and I raised my hand and I said, I know the word you're looking for. And she looked at me and she was like, really?
Okay.
So I did know what the word was. So I told her, I said, is this what you want to say? And I can't for the life of me remember what the word was.
Yeah.
But she made me move my desk and sit next to her for the rest of the school year.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because, for one, she won.
Oh, okay.
She
That was
won,
good.
so
Okay.
I was happy about that. But after that, she put me in every writing contest she could find. And when I graduated from the 6th grade, she told my mom, she said, Miss Terry, never stop Tammy from writing.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So I've held on to that, and I reconnected with Miss Bell.
Yeah.
With the help of some of my Facebook friends during the pandemic, and I let her know
that
that I
you're a writer.
never put the pen down.
That's good.
Yes.
I bet that really blessed her and made her happy.
It did.
That's
It really
good.
did.
That's good. All right. Now, one of the things about writing is that it can be difficult to stay focused. How do you stay focused and stay motivated?
3 things, and this is actually a chapter title in the book: grace, naps, and cookies.
Grace, naps, and cookies.
Grace, naps, and cookies.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are, I mean, as an author, I have my days.
Mm-hmm.
I have my days when I'm like, oh, really? I'm not done typing yet.
Yeah.
I'm not done writing yet. Do I have to?
Mm-hmm.
And there have been times where, me and God, I've been like, Jesus, look, are you sure?
Yeah.
I don't want to write that. If I write it that way, then single women won't buy my stuff. That ain't your problem. Are you sure you want me to put it back? And I'm like,
Wow.
okay.
Yeah.
And I challenged God on one project. I said, you know what? I'm gonna put this back in here, but you have to tell me what to write. He said, I bet.
Okay. All right now.
So I do have my days, but I'm grateful. Also for my support network, for my husband, for my 3 girls. That's one of the biggest misconceptions people have about me, is that I am single and childless. I am neither.
Wow. Okay.
I have been married for 18 years. I have 3 daughters, 20, 15, and 10 going on 47.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they are my why. They help keep me focused, and they keep me motivated. Of course, now they all think that Amazon is going to ban me from from publishing books, and I tell them, I said, what I'm doing is going to pay for your future and your kids' future, and God willing, your kids' future. So give me my cookies and leave me alone.
Okay. Now, why do they think Amazon gonna ban you from publishing books? What's that about?
I publish very quickly.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, so for me, from idea to Amazon is about 14 days.
Okay.
And I have put up as many as 8 to be in review in one day.
Oh, I see. I
Yes.
see. Okay.
So it's,
I mean,
yes.
Amazon is a big company, so I don't know.
I don't
if
think they're gonna.
they probably appreciate the business. They probably appreciate the business. But
Yes.
okay, so most of your books go through a 14-day process.
Yes.
But like Girl Go Eat a Cookie, it was a life experience that you went through. So are a lot of your books like that, like was Girl Go Eat a Cookie the only one?
Girl Go Eat a Cookie is the only one that I would say that hits quite that hard.
Okay.
A lot of my books, I write over different genres. I have devotionals, I have fiction, I have business, I have books on career transition, because I was also a teacher for 8 years.
Okay.
So I write about different things, but my style is to help you get rid of all the fluff and the excuses and everything else. And even I will have people to come to me and they will say, I don't tell you about this, that, and the other, because I know you're going to challenge me. I know you're going to motivate me. I know you're not going to let me quit. You're going to get on my nerves, and you're going to be in my inbox every day. But that's just me.
Right. Yeah.
That's just me. So I write so that you can get things right. almost wore my t-shirt today that says I write books that cause and solve problems.
That's a good one.
Because I want you as a woman, be you Christian or otherwise, to be the woman you are meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because we all want to create the person that we think we want to be. I want you to become the woman who you are meant to be. And that takes work.
It takes work.
And it takes time.
Yeah.
So a lot of my books are written specifically to challenge you as a woman, as a wife, as a mother. I say this all of the time, and people get mad at me. I know what I've been able to do.
Right. Yeah.
Especially being as young as I am. That's another issue that people have with me when they, when they read my writing and everything. They think that I'm 50, mid 50s.
Yeah.
Things like that. I'm 42.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I've been blessed to experience some things and learn some things in my short little bitty life, because most people see me as a baby. So, but I've learned and gleaned some things in life that I like to share with people. And I tell people all the time, if I've gone through something and I've written it out, if I think it's going to help one person, it's going on Amazon.
That's important. And then we
Yes.
never know that one person that you touch, we never know how many people that one person is going to touch.
Yes.
That's the ripple effect.
Yes.
Yeah. What's your favorite? Well, do you have a favorite book out of all of your books?
Do I have a favorite?
Yeah.
I do. It's not this one.
Okay. I mean, that's fine.
This one comes in a close second, but if I had to say my favorite book, it would be my book, The 7 Virtuous Businesswoman Slayers, 7 Deadly Cop-Outs. It's my book on excuses.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and how the excuses that we make don't hold water. So when we say that, I can't achieve my goals because I'm broke, when was the last time you looked at how you spent money?
Yeah.
You say, I can't do this because I don't have time. What are you doing when you're at the hairdresser under the dryer?
Yep.
Or waiting for the kids to get out of school? If you're on hold on the phone, stuck in traffic, that's all time that we could be using to do something towards achieving our goals. When you say, man, I got these kids, let them help you.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we miss out on the best help in the world because we ignore the people right within our 4 walls and what they can do.
Okay.
Even if you say, I have a job, your job is a catalyst to you achieving your goals.
Yeah.
If you pay attention to what you do every day. Some people may say, well, this is just a little something that I throw together, something that I do on the side, but you can make money from it if you get serious about it.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
they'll say, I don't know how to do anything else. There's no such thing.
Right.
There's no such thing. I believe that everybody is born multi-talented and multifaceted. It's just that we allow things to lay dormant if it doesn't work as well or as quickly as the thing that we want to put out there. And then the worst one of them all, I'm good where I am. You lie and the truth is not in you. You are a ticking time bomb. And I'm going to tell you how I know. This is the psychology major in me.
Okay.
If you get upset when you see someone who is achieving their goals, it's not them you're mad at. You're mad at the results that they got from the steps that you refuse to take.
Wow. Yeah.
So that is actually my favorite.
Yeah. And a lot of the things that you mentioned are things that I work with clients on in therapy. And sometimes it's therapy is challenging you. It gives accountability for your goals. And so, hey, if you're ready, bring it. I'm
Yes.
taking new clients. But I'm enjoying talking to Tammy. I do want to bring out this one thing. There's something special about the cover of the book, the
Yes.
picture. Tammy, tell us a little bit about that.
So these pictures were taken in January of 2021 after I was cleared of having multiple sclerosis in September of 2020. These pictures were actually taken in a cemetery. I am standing in front of and inside of a hollowed out oak tree in one of our city's most beautiful cemeteries here. And to me, that was symbolic because it was a time when I said within myself, it's time to be Tammy. It's time to let go of what everybody else's views of Tammy are and should be. And as a matter of fact, my photographer told me, he said, I don't want any business. I want your personality in these pictures. I want to see what you're wearing and bring cookies.
Okay.
And so the picture on the cover of the book, he intentionally made me laugh and caught my laughter.
Yeah.
And then the workbook picture, that was before he made me laugh.
Okay.
This was before he made me laugh.
Okay.
And then the book picture was when he made me laugh.
Yeah.
And just captured really just the joy
Yeah.
in my life at that point. It was raining that day. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. And we sat there and we talked and we laughed and we took the pictures. So when I wrote the book, I called him and I said, I want to put my pictures on the front of this book. And he said, which set? And I said, the second set. He says, well, which ones are you thinking about? So I sent him that one. And he said, please don't put that on the back cover. I said, oh, no. No. I said, that's going on the front. And I think that is what draws people in when they see this book, because it is available locally. It's just hard to catch.
Oh, I can believe that.
Yeah, it is hard. It's hard to catch. But I believe that using this particular set of pictures was what makes people pick it up. Is what makes them look at it, because they are wondering, what is this?
Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah. And it's beautiful because it's such a, you would never know that it was taken in a
cemetery.
In a cemetery.
Never know.
And it's a stark contrast, the joy that's on her face versus where she is, and also where she just came from physically.
Right.
And so I just wanted her to be able to share that story about the book cover.
Yes.
So many wonderful stories as it relates to authors. What's the one thing that you do best as an author?
Ooh, I can write out of thin air. I tell people all the time, the worst thing that you can do is give me a book idea.
Oh.
I can hear something, or I can read something, and my brain is turning. So I give you an example and kind of a sneak peek of something that I'm working on.
Okay.
I was reading the parable of the sower in my devotional time, and it talks about how stuff falls on the wayside and the good ground and the stony ground and all of that stuff. I said, that's 4 types of authors.
Okay.
And so I'm reading back and forth. I literally have 26 handwritten pages of notes comparing the 4 types of people in that passage to authors. And that's going to be a chapter in an upcoming project. So
All right.
I have the ability to read something and just pull things out of it, which is what I do professionally now. I take authors' books, and that's what I do. I look at it to see, can they write another book? Can they host an event around the book? Can they provide coaching services and things like that, like I do? What merchandise can they pair with this book? Because and I'm really, really observant. And I give you another funny story. When I was looking for merchandise to pair with Girl Go Eat a Cookie, I was walking down the baking aisle of Family Dollar, and I saw these $1 packages of the Betty Crocker cookie mix, and I said, I'm saying, girl, go eat a cookie. I was building a product box at the time, and I said, why not give them cookies?
Okay. Yeah.
So when I send out my product boxes, they get that little $1 package of cookie mix that makes 12 cookies.
That's nice.
But now some people will end up making a skillet cookie out of it because I just got on their nerves just that much.
Okay.
But it's nuances like that that I am able to find when I hear something or when I read something, or if somebody says something, I'm like, hey, that would make a good, book title. Hey, this is a good, social media post. One of my clients, I was reading her book on perimenopause. Every chapter had a song.
Wow.
I said, you need a YouTube playlist with these songs in this order. Share the link with your ladies, with your readers, and it's just something that will lighten the load, because a lot of the songs ranged from motivational to kind of not silly per se, but entertaining,
Lighthearted.
lighthearted. Like she went from India Ari's "I Am Not My Hair" to Nelly's "Hot in Here."
Oh,
okay. So there are so many nuggets that, as the author or as the writer, you may not see. But when I read it, I'm just like, okay, they need to take this whole chapter, pull it out, and publish it by itself.
Okay.
So that is the way that I am as an author. That's my superpower,
Yeah.
if you will. I find the possibilities.
Now, I took one of, I took this class at the Christian Fiction Writers Conference, Mid-South Christian Fiction Writers Conference. Help me with all these acronyms.
Right.
But this class was talking about how many different products can be pulled out of one book, and there was a specific number. What was that? What was the number? How many products you say?
I showed one of my collections where I had at least 20.
Okay, 20. Okay.
Where I had at least 20 things that I had done without picking up my pen again to make money from. And I'm still making money from that collection today, and it's 6 years old.
Oh, that's good. That's real good. Have you ever thought about doing other types of writing, like a movie or screenwriting or anything like that?
Actually, I have. I have had a couple of my books sent recently to some studios.
Okay.
Who are reading things. I just had somebody to ask me why Girl Go Eat a Cookie isn't a movie. I don't think the world is ready for that.
I don't know. Now they might be ready for that.
Look, that would have to be a series for sure, because like each chapter is probably like 9 seasons.
Oh my God. Okay.
But I've written for magazines. I write for about, 7, maybe 8 different magazines.
Okay.
Using my content. I have acted out my content, especially my fiction stuff. So I have my books are now becoming required reading in colleges and universities all over the South. So I'm excited about that.
That's good.
But yes, it would get very interesting very quickly to see some of my stuff on screen,
on a movie
TV.
screen.
And
Yes.
it's funny because one of the bookstores that stocks my book here locally, my book is 4 books down from Tyler Perry's book, and I'm like, is this some kind of some kind of sign, omen, whatever you want to call it. But yes, I enjoy what I do. I enjoy what I do. I enjoy traveling and speaking, and speaking through the book.
Yeah.
I tell people all of the time, this book took over my life in 2021.
Yeah.
I was not able to pen another word. When this book came out in February, between February 24th and the end of April, I had 13 speaking engagements.
Wow.
Both online and in person. So it is a joy, a joy to do. And I tell people all the time, I cried writing it.
Yeah.
So I understand, you crying and things like that, So when I go and I speak and I see a woman cry, I go hug her.
Yeah.
Because I get it. So yes, I would probably turn this into something very interesting very, very quickly. Yes.
And I think, people would have a lot of interest in you writing for them because you can write so quickly. I just know that the TV industry, movie industry needs that, looks for it. And quite frankly, we need the type of material that you have that needs to be out there. Inspirational message, Christian message, messages that deal with character.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm going to delve more into Girl Go Eat a Cookie, and then handle business so that I can make sure I handle my business correctly. And I have really enjoyed talking to you, Tammy.
Yes.
If there is anything special is there anything special you would like people to take away from your books?
If I had one major takeaway, it would be honestly to remember that your growth is not about you. There will always be someone, somewhere, sometime, somehow, some way who needs to glean something from what you have endured and what you have overcome.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being my special guest
Thank you
on
for
tonight.
having me.
Yes. And so you all continue to tune in on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Central on SVP TV, as well as on Comcast Channel 17 on Fridays at 7 p.m. Thank you so much for joining us. Come back to Couch Convo with Coach Karla. Good night.
Good night.
SVP, SVP TV, we're family for all your needs. SVP, SVP TV, we're family. We're gonna make you fall in love. SVP. We're gonna make you fall in love with SVP TV. SVP, SVP TV.
Looking for something new? We thought so. SVP is mixing things up, and digital TV, it'll never be the same.